Hej och välkommen till HonoluluTV. Idag har vi med oss ingen mindre än Kinky Friedman. Kinky Friedman, en countrymästare och allkonstnär som har gett ut cigg och sprit och 27 böcker och en jävla massa skivor och fotat sig med en massa kändisar och grejer. Över till intervjun. Hello, Mr. Friedman. How's the tequila business going?
Well, it's turning out to be a financial pleasure.
All right.
Yeah, it's doing well. Mexican mouthwash.
Yeah.
That's Man in Black tequila,
Yeah.
which right now is only available in Texas, but soon, today Texas, tomorrow the world.
Yeah. In Sweden, tequila mostly means cheap Mexican mouthwash.
That's true, yeah. This Mexican mouthwash, Man in Black, is it's not your father's tequila. It's your grandfather's gardener's tequila.
Yeah. All right.
And it's very good stuff. So I call it the Barry Manilow drink because it makes you feel good for a short period of time. You know how to drink it cowboy style?
I don't.
Well, the way we do it in Texas, you snort a line of salt, and then you take the lime and squeeze it in your own eye. Then you kill the shot. That's the way to drink.
Sweden loves you in the free. Say what? Sweden loves you in the free.
So you never start a conversation with one person in an audience.
In the yay.
All right, okay. There is a place where you can go, where Marilyn's still dancing with DiMaggio, and Juliet with Romeo, and the name of the place is love.
What would be your first order of business as a ruler of the universe?
Well, governor of Texas would be close to the next best thing there.
Yeah.
Ruler of the universe. And if I were there, I'd probably get rid of the death penalty first.
Okay.
Although that won't get a lot of votes. But it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because we kill more people just about, more than any state in America.
Yeah. So I heard.
And I always tell the Christians, I hate for you to have to hear this from a Jew. But remember, folks, that's who you heard it from the first time.
Yeah.
Bästa nya orden. Tvångspatscha, sprängalkis, accessoarbarn.
Can you still drink while in the car in Texas?
Well, I got in trouble for that during
you?
the campaign for governor.
Okay.
I was the Grand Marshal of the St. Patty's Day Parade in Dallas.
Mm.
I think it was 2005.
Mm.
And so I'm riding in this open car, convertible,
Yeah.
and it was a very hot day. We were driving at about 1 mile per hour, very slowly.
Yeah.
In fact, for a politician just to ride in an open car in Dallas requires some balls,
Yeah. Of course.
given Dallas's history. But a kid came up and gave me a Guinness,
Yeah.
and so I just took a drink of it, and the Dallas Morning News got a picture of it,
Okay.
and it was on the front page because it breaks the Texas law, open container law, in a moving
right.
vehicle. So, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, I mean, everybody came out against me for that. We caught a lot of flack.
Yeah. But you weren't driving.
I wasn't driving, but you still can't you can't have it open. So we called a press conference, and I told them I admit I did drink the Guinness, but I did not swallow. So that kind of went away after that.
Yeah.
And then my political career went away.
But you're
When
going
I-
at it again, right?
We'll have to decide in May, but
Yeah.
it sure looks good right now. The idea of legalizing marijuana and legalizing gambling in Texas.
Yeah.
would create the biggest revenue in the world, be huge.
Yeah.
And then we could really do what we want to do, and taxes would go way down.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense not to have gambling. I mean, we invented Texas Hold'em. We ought to be able to play it.
Of course.
And marijuana, we've been losing the war on drugs ever since, what, Richard Nixon's time.
Yeah.
And no doctor has ever reported a case of marijuana poisoning. Doesn't exist. See, what we could really do, if we legalize, tax, and regulate marijuana, we could clear out half the prison cells of Texas. And there's a bunch. I mean, there's more than, I think that, I'm not sure of this, but I think Texas has more prison cells than Russia right now. And,
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't know about China, where they stand, but, and they're 3-to-1 African Americans and Hispanics.
Yeah.
And these are for non-violent offenders, by the way, not big drug dealers.
Okay.
These are just possession.
Yeah.
Those should be cleared out. They should be set free.
Kära vänner, välkomna till märkligheten. Nu är det dags för att blanda shots igen. Och ikväll så ska vi göra en taliban. Det är en mycket speciell shot som få har druckit, men alla som har druckit den har blivit äckligt glada. I taliban ska man ha Kahlua, mycket viktig ingrediens. Och den kan med fördel skakas lite innan. Här kör vi den enkla stilen, det är bara 50-50. Det är bra, för då kan man blanda till det när man är dyngnitad sen. Sen blir det Fernet. Alkisarnas favoritdryck. Mycket bra för magen. Och hela tarmsystemet skulle jag vilja hävda. Och nu ser ni här den svarta färgen. Därav namnet. Och man kan också känna doften av denna brygd. Och det här är ju då en shot som man tar helt utan omsvep. Hej på det.
You made the first season of Saturday Night Live as the second country artist ever after John Prine. Did you hang out with Dan Aykroyd, I guess, was there at the time, and Steve Martin and John Belushi?
I met those guys. The guy I was close to was Belushi.
Okay.
And I already knew him pretty well.
All right.
And in fact, he was the first guy I stayed at his house, his apartment, when I came to New York.
Yeah.
And he was, John was the best.
Yeah.
First of all, a great actor.
Yeah.
And a great comedic talent.
Yeah.
And there have been only 2 Albanians that have ever really made it to the big time. John Belushi and Mother Teresa. And between the 2 of them, Belushi's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
But he followed my advice. Find what you like and let it kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It did.
And that's a loss for all of us.
Yeah. Did you party together?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Mm?
Yeah.
Were you also into drugs at the time?
Yeah, but I wasn't into. He was into some pretty bad stuff. Later, there was a woman who was being mugged in a bank in New York. One of these, banks at night that stay open. You put in a card, you can go in there.
Yeah.
And I think a Bank of America in the Village.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who looked like he was stabbing her, was beating her up on the floor of this bank.
Okay.
So I had a card, and I put it in, and I went in there, and I grabbed the guy,
Yeah.
and she ran off and ran across the street. And the newspaper had a big story the next day, country singer plucks victim from mugger. And it turns out she looked familiar to me.
Mm-hmm.
This was after John was dead.
Mm-hmm.
She was John Belushi's girlfriend, the one that gave him the drugs, you know, or that Kathy
right.
Smith.
Okay. Okay.
And so I was talking to Tom Waits after that, and he said, what are the odds that out of 10 million people in New York City, the one you rescued happens to be your buddy's, the woman who killed him? Well, we don't know if she killed him, he killed himself.
Yeah, yeah.
But she helped him, you know, she was with him when he died.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and of course Robin Williams and Robert De Niro and a bunch of people came by
Yeah.
before, as he was killing himself.
Yeah.
And they just scored their drugs and got out of there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, maybe I would have done that too. I don't know.
Hmm.
I think I would have stopped him or tried to.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just the human condition.
Yeah.
Find what you like and let it kill you.
Yeah.
Here, man. Dylan.
Didn't you once say that you tried to snort the line between fantasy and reality?
Between fiction and nonfiction. Yeah. Between the two, fiction has a lot more to say.
Yeah.
Good fiction tells more truth than nonfiction, I think.
Is this a guy you know too?
David Allan Coe is he's great. I was at I probably shouldn't tell the story, but what the hell?
Go ahead.
I was
Go right ahead.
in his dressing room in Dallas. Good Lord, maybe 35 or 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Back when Christ was a cowboy.
Yeah.
And I reached up for a beer
Mm-hmm.
on the wall. It was already open, and so I drank some of it. And he said, "Wait, stop!" I spit it out. It was David Allan Coe's urine. So I have drunk David Allan Coe's urine, and I don't think there's too many men that can say that or would say it. But I'm not particularly proud of it, but I survived. I mean, I only have 2 taste buds left, so
Yeah.
they are having one hell of a party.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're gonna drink someone's urine, why not David Allan Coe's?
Yeah, if you're going to drink somebody's urine, I think David Allan Coe's is a good place to start.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy, Willie and I met on the gangplank of Noah's Ark. I call him the hillbilly Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
And if you doubt it, remember he was busted early last year, coming
Yeah.
across the border
Yeah.
on the bus.
Yeah.
And I saw him right after the bust, I mean, that same day, and he
Yeah.
looked terrible. I mean, he looked like he just lost 6 ounces. You know?
Yeah.
And later I saw him in handcuffs,
Yeah.
signing autographs for law enforcement personnel, which that's why we call him the hillbilly Dalai Lama.
Van Dyke Parks.
Oh, yes. Well, Van Dyke is I don't know if he's misunderstood, but he's certainly a genius.
Yeah.
And we toured Australia together very
Yeah.
successfully a couple years ago,
Yeah.
with him playing a baby grand piano and me playing the guitar,
Yeah.
and it really worked. He's the guy who orchestrated the cello on the Beach Boys song "Good Vibrations."
Yeah.
And he's got fans all over the world. I mean, and they're usually very smart people. And unfortunately, there's not enough smart people out there. You know, I mean, the stupid people like me. stupid people and smart people like me, but the middle range. I don't really. Those are the ones who like Justin Bieber and Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a racist, but I do know how to start a sentence and make you think I'm about to say something racist. You know why Jews love money and black people love fried chicken? Because all people love money and fried chicken. Yeah, I'm not going to say something racist. Speaking of Jews, I think HBO should make a mini-series version of The Diary of Anne Frank, because I've always felt that the book is pretty light on gratuitous nudity.
What about some foreign outlaws?
Yeah. I met, who's the guy? Johnny Rotten.
Johnny Rotten, yeah?
I met Johnny Rotten, and he was coming to the Lone Star Cafe in New York. Anyway, they wouldn't let him in. I couldn't believe it. I mean, he was already gone. He drove off in a 1937 Snit. I don't blame him, because he was going to be one of my guests on this show, and they wouldn't let him in, just for the way he looked or whatever. But yeah, these guys they've got the right idea. I mean, the outlaw thing was a good thing. I mean, you know, record companies really are bad.
Yeah.
And they really did, you know, with Red-Headed Stranger.
Yeah.
Was the first record Willie ever produced. They said, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
And boy, they hated that when he turned it in. He did it all for...
They thought
what?
it was a demo, right?
Yeah, what was the price? Like 20 grand or less.
Yeah.
Did it all in a week. And man, they hated it. And they said, this is a collector's record or something. You know, you can hear the drum pedal squeaking. You can hear, and it was so sparse, you know, just Willie and Mickey Raphael playing the harmonica, and B. Spears on bass for most of it, a lot of it.
Yeah.
And Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain.
Yeah.
Blue Eyes, which was this old song that was a hit, you know, year 1940s. It wasn't even a big hit. And they didn't hear it. They didn't know which song to pick as a single, but it wasn't Blue Eyes. And they hated the record. And they said, they called all their producers, Columbia Records. Yeah. They called their producers in Nashville, Billy Sherrill, all the big ones. Can you save this record? It's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists thought that too. They said, this doesn't even sound like a good demo. Yeah, they hated it. Yeah. And the only one that liked it was Willie's dog. Willie's dog was on the demo that Willie played for the band so they could hear it. And and then when it got to the disc jockey level, it took off like a rocket ship. They said, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain is a monster. And it was a song of the year. I mean, it crossed pop. You know, I mean, it made Willie. I mean, it was enormous. Yeah. And none of them heard it, you know? I mean, really incredible that there wouldn't have been somebody in the record industry that would have said, you know?
It's strange because it's a pretty incredible record.
Yeah, it is. So that kind of broke the ice.
Yeah.
And got the record companies on their way out, I think. And it's good to have them gone.
Yeah. Now we've gone 30 minutes. Do you want to wrap things up? Anything you want to plug? You have several sites on the web and stuff like that.
Well, I got to watch what I plug because I may be running for governor by this time, you know.
Yeah.
I am. I've got a kind of this is not serious, but it's not a humorous. It's not satirical. This campaign. I mean, this is one to win. Yeah. And so I'll be a happy warrior, but I'm quite serious. Yeah. About getting the people into politics.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
So, and of course, you know, I've got my last will and testament all worked out. When I die, I'm to be cremated, and the ashes are to be thrown in Rick Perry's hair. So that I've got a lot of volunteers too that want to help me. Well, I won't be able to do anything by then.
Okay, thank you very much.
Pleasure, and may the God of your choice bless you, Frederick. In fact, how about a Texas toast? Here's to honor. Get honor and stay honor. bad. It's better than David Allan Coe's urine. Let's put it that way.
Pawn shops itching for your old guitar. Where you going, ain't nobody knows. The sequins have fallen from your clothes. Once you heard the Opry crowd applaud. Now you're hanging out at 4th and Broad on the rain-wept sidewalk reefing, remembering the time when coffee with a friend was still a dime. And everything's been sold American. The early times is finished and the want ads all are red. Everyone's been sold American. Been dreaming dreams in a rollaway bed. Writing down your memoirs on some window in the frost. Roulette eyes reflecting another morning lost. Hauled in by the metro for killing time and pain, with a singing brakeman screaming through your veins. And everything's been sold American.
Strömmen finner vägen för fan. Raining Sound var just här. Det gick hyfsat bra. Boja!